Well, let's talk now to Emily Guskin. She's a polling analyst at the Washington Post, and also Stephen Strauss, who worked for Mr. Bloomberg's administration when he was mayor of New York and is now visiting professor at Princeton University's Woodrow Wilson School. First of all, Stephen, to you, I know that you are a Democrat. Have you seen lots of support for Mr. Bloomberg?
Yes, I mean, the polling pretty consistently shows that he's doing well. As you alluded to, some combination of advertising, some combination of the fact that he's a very well-known philanthropist, and some combination of the fact that, look, he was the mayor of New York City's of America's largest city for 12 years, which is a very high-profile position. So he's come out of the gate very strong.
Do you think that for many people he's just another billionaire, another Trump, or is that stint he had as New York mayor, does that make him different, do you think, from President Trump in the minds of Democratic voters?
Well, I'm not sure what the expression minds of Democratic voters. There are a lot of different pockets in the Democratic Party, but he is a real philanthropist, unlike, President Trump. You could point to a lot of money that Bloomberg given to causes such as climate change, gun control, donor. He's been a donor to Planned Parenthood. So he's got a long history, and I forget who said it, but like 99% of success in life is showing up. He's shown up. Those mayors who are coming out and endorsing him, he really knows them. He's met with them. He's talked with them. When he was the mayor of New York, he had an open door for any mayor who wanted to just stop by and chat about their problems. So he's got a lot of things going for him.
Emily Guskin, you're a polling analyst at the Washington Post. You specialize in public opinion about politics and elections. What do the latest polls say about Michael Bloomberg?
Well, actually, this morning we released a poll with ABC News, so the post-ABC poll, and we found that Bloomberg has 8% support among Democrats and Democratic leaners nationally, and that is up from 8%, which he had in last month's poll. And it puts him in about third place, very close to both Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden, who's fallen a bit from our previous poll.
And where does he stand compared to Senator Bernie Sanders, do you think, his main competitor, if you like, right now?
So Senator Sanders increased a lot in this last poll compared to January, and he has 32% support among Democrats now. Bloomberg has 14% support among those Democrats and Democratic leaners. So he's quite a bit below Sanders in current polling, but as we know, polls are snapshots in time, and things could change. And as you mentioned, there's a debate tonight, which will be the first time that a lot of people see Bloomberg on a national stage talking about his policies beyond all of that advertising that he's been putting out.
Absolutely, yes, Emily. And Stephen, I put that to you. It's the first time he's going to have a podium of his own, if you like. How important is it that he gets his message across? And what is his message?
Well, again, I'm not a surrogate for the campaign, but, in a sense, I think his message is what's been important to him for the last 20-ish years. Gun regulation, sensible gun regulation, cleaning up the environment, climate change, preparing for climate change, preventing climate change. He's always been very strong on public health, improving public health, improving infant mortality rates, a fairer shake in American society. He's come out with a program for increasing taxes. So in many ways, he's a classic center-left Democrat.
Do you think he has, though, courted a little bit of controversy, particularly with his stop and frisk policy while New York mayor?
Stop and frisk was wrong. Again, I wrote an editorial about 5 or 6 years ago pointing out what I thought was wrong with the policy. So he said he's sorry. I wish he'd admitted the mistake much sooner. I wish the policy had stopped much sooner. But one of the issues for for Sanders, Biden, and Bloomberg, the good news is they are people who've been very active in government, very active in public service, have in different ways done tremendous things for America. The bad news for each of them is they've got a record. You could point to votes that Sanders took on gun control in the 80s and 90s that don't look very good right now. Support for a crime bill that doesn't look very good right now. And I'm not saying that's a reason not to vote for any of them. I think all three have earned the right to be evaluated on their entire careers and their entire set of proposals.
Emily, to you, how attractive do you think Michael Bloomberg is for younger people who vote, younger voters?
Well, we saw that most of his increase in support from January to now was actually among older Democrats and Democratic leaners, and also whites with college degrees. So he didn't have a huge growth in support among younger voters. Among those under 50 years old, those Democrats and Democratic leaning independents, Bloomberg has 6% support. That compares to 23% among those who are older. You also recently mentioned his policies and his background in policy, and almost 6 in 10 Democrats and Democratic leaners say that Bloomberg is about right on policy, and that's pretty close to what they say for a lot of the other candidates who are running for the Democratic nomination right now.
Okay, Emily Guskin and Stephen Strauss, thank you so much for giving